welcome to the Badass Breastfeeding Podcast. This is Diane, your lactation consultant. Oh, I didn't know what I was for a minute there.
Your lactation exterminator.
Yeah.
This is Abby, the Badass Breastfeeder, and today's episode is brought to you by Similary Breast Pumps. Similary Breast Pumps carries ultra tiny pumps as small as a sticky note. I saw them too. They really are as small as a sticky note.
That's crazy.
I know. And fully adjustable pumps with 85 combination settings. They have a pump for every lifestyle so that you're in control of your pumping journey. And we will hear more from our sponsor later. But you can head to badassbreastfeedingpodcast.com and check out our sponsor page. If you ever need anything, see if you can give them any of your business because they make this podcast possible. And then scroll down and enter your email address and we will send episodes straight to your inbox every week. And we're on Patreon. Head to the link at the top of the show notes under this episode, wherever you're listening from, and see if any of those tiers look good to you. You can join us over there for the fun that we're having with our original content that Diane and I create and our discussions. We have a weekly wellness check where we just talk about what's going on with us and people can ask questions or vent. Venting is popular, which I fully support. Usually people are like, I'm sorry, I'm venting. And it's like, wait, why are you apologizing? This is exactly why this exists.
Yeah.
And then we're also still hosting our ongoing giveaway for people who leave reviews around the internet. Take a screenshot of your written review or your stars or your whatever it is that your app does. Send it to badassbreastfeedingpodcast@gmail.com. And we will send you a goodie bag of thank you for nursing in public cards and podcast stickers. And also, before we forget again, we would like to give a shout out to the neurodiversity course that Diane took.
Oh, yeah.
For our, sorry, I'm throwing this at you right now. And are you able to come up with that?
Yeah, I can totally.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, so if everybody remembers, we did that episode. It was, last month about neurodiversity and breastfeeding. And Diane came upon this course that she took and added neurodiversity to her list of credentials. And we just wanted to give a shout out to that person who's also a listener.
Yeah,
and
she is.
Offers this course, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's through Jenny Stiller, Genny Stiller, Stiller, Neurodiverse Lactation Education Center. So it is a really good course, and it didn't take super long to do it or anything. It was very interesting, and I recommend it if you are a lactation professional because it is really interesting to learn a lot more about neurodiversity and breastfeeding and how you can support those families.
And now, is this just for like lactation consultants and, lactation professionals? Or what if you're like a doula or you work in a hospital or?
I think that would work for those people as well. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, this is a hot topic and we're starting to see, attention being given to, the neurodiversity of humans. And it's something pretty good to get on your resume at this point.
Yeah, for sure.
And you're going to run into it. I mean, you're going to just it's going to help, you understand your clients better.
Yeah. And to identify it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So great.
No,
and
awesome.
Now Diane has our review of the week.
Yeah. Gee, let's see all the stuff. Now, this was a few weeks ago, so we would love to get an update from this listener. If you are listening, hopefully you are. I'm having my first baby via C-section in 4 weeks because of placenta previa. I found this podcast and I'm obsessed and have learned so much and have gained so much confidence in the beginning of this breastfeeding journey. Thank you guys for everything and wish me luck. This is the most nerve-wracking moment of my life, and it's so nice to feel supported. So she should have had that baby in the last week or two. So hopefully everything went very well and she's doing well and recovering well. I'd love to hear how she's doing. And it is really nerve-wracking. I've had a couple of parents lately with placenta previa. And for those of you who don't know what that is, that's when the placenta is actually in front of the cervix. So the baby can't come out that way and they have to do a C-section. So usually that's something that they know because of ultrasound, and they can, they end up scheduling you for a C-section. But when it's your first time, it can really be very nerve-wracking and first baby. I mean, anytime you need surgery, it's nerve-wracking. Yes. So,
yeah. And from what I understand, placenta previa is what used to be so dangerous about birth. That was like the main cause of bleeding out and dying, right? Of parents, of moms, of the person giving birth, before we had like ultrasounds and prenatal care. And now that's something that's so easily caught and dealt with that we don't have that anymore. I could be wrong about this, but I don't think I am. I'm pretty sure that I read this in like Ina Mae Gaskin's book, which I can't think of what it is right now, what the name of it is. Like she has that birthing farm. I think she calls it a farm or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, that used to be something that was really like, because if you don't have prenatal care, you don't have an ultrasound, you don't know that that's happening. So then you just give birth, and then the mom would bleed to death, I think. And now we don't have that because we have prenatal care.
Yeah. So yeah, it's actually a good thing that they know, and that they're doing that they're doing a C-section, and hopefully you're doing really well, and we'd love to hear from you. But
yes. And I was wondering if we wanted to do like a question or two from because remember how we got the information we found out that we had comments on Spotify.
Yeah.
And some people had some questions, and I thought maybe we could do like a question here and there to kind of knock these out.
Yeah, for sure. What you got?
Yeah, let's see. I'm not prepared. Okay, here's one. This person is responding to starting solids with your breastfeeding baby. She says, I'm a little confused because you said 4 months is too early to feed your baby. But shortly after that, you stated it's different for every baby. So with that logic, couldn't it be okay to give some solids to some 4-month-olds? So no,
their system is actually not ready for it that early.
Yeah.
Like you hear it all the time where pediatricians will say, oh, anytime, you can start solids anytime now, like at the 4-month appointment. But it is really early to give them solids. And there's a couple of things, like they need to be ready. So you need to see that their tongue is not thrusting out anymore, because that extrusion reflex, as we call it, is there to keep babies from choking. And it will kind of disappears around the 6-month mark. So if you're trying to give them solids at 4 months, chances are they're just going to thrust it out of their mouth anyway. They also have to be sitting unassisted, and they have to have good head control, which is not happening around 4 months either. But their little system isn't ready for it yet.
Yeah.
And there's higher chances of allergies when you introduce things too early like that at 4 months. They do have a higher instance of allergies and stuff like that. So it's just early for them.
I mean, we're really waiting for like full gut development.
Yeah.
Right? Which is what's happening with breast milk for those first 6 months. They're really developing their full gut. And that's not different for every baby. They really babies around 6 months, their gut is fully developed. After 6 months, however much the baby eats, how they take, how quickly they take to eating solids, whether they're eating a lot or not eating at all, that's different. That's going to be very variable from baby to baby, whether they actually want it at 6 months, because they might not. And they might be just like, they might be so ready. They might be so excited and really be able to swallow those solids at 6 months. That's going to be very different from babies. But the gut readiness, that's why we wait until 6 months for all babies.
Yeah. Yeah, that's basically the bottom line.
Okay. So.
Cool.
Yeah. And I'll be more prepared next time. Yeah, that was a good question.
Yeah, that was good. But today we're going to talk a little bit about like exercise and weight loss, because this is always something that comes up. I know I get a lot of clients that ask about exercise. Can I start exercising again? Will this impact my milk supply? Will this, be detrimental to the baby and our breastfeeding relationship? Like what happens after, if I start exercising again? Exercise is fine. That's pretty much the bottom line, but we're going to get into it a little bit. But exercising is, and it's encouraged, it is encouraged. So if you had an exercise routine that you were doing, if you were going to the gym, if you were a runner, like whatever it was that you were doing prior to pregnancy, you can continue that after you have the baby. I would wait until your doctor says it's okay, because of course, a lot of this depends on your birth and how your baby was born and how ready you're going to be. But usually they say around 6 weeks you could start up again. And only if you feel like you are ready. Like don't do anything before you really feel like you are ready to do that.
Yeah, and it's going to depend a lot on how your birth went. Like with Jack, I had an episiotomy. At 6 weeks, I could not walk very far without feeling like all my guts were going to fall out of my vagina.
Yeah.
That's not if you feel like that, then you're not ready to be exercising.
Right.
So yeah, again, with the variable and the differences, it's very annoying.
With Nathan, my first one, I started running again after 2 weeks.
What?
Which I don't recommend it. And I ran up until the day before he was born. I was running. And then I had him, and then I started running again at like 2 weeks. And it was not a good choice for me. Like now that I know what I know, I was like, wow, that was way too early. And I started bleeding more, and because I had stopped bleeding pretty much, and I started bleeding more. And it just was way too soon. I really shouldn't have, but I think it was my way of dealing with stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, let me get out there and run. But because I was running a lot back then, but I definitely don't recommend it. Walking is fine. Like if you can walk and you're comfortable walking, like Abby said, she was not at 6 weeks, but that's a good way to kind of like gently get back into things, especially if you have your baby during the, like what is your spring and summer months, or even fall, if you have a fall, depending on where you live. It could be really nice to just get out there, get some fresh air.
Yeah. I mean, and you can just start with going around the block or a short distance wherever you live. Because I was like, I'm going to walk to Starbucks with my baby. And I got to Starbucks, which was like 6 blocks away. And I was like, shit. I don't know if I can get home.
Oh my God.
It was like really like, there was just so much pressure. And I mean, it was like, ugh. And I'm like, okay, I went too far.
Yeah. Yeah. So and when you're already too far before you know it,
Yeah. That's why I'm saying, like, go around the block when you have like a short way to get back home in case you just don't feel up for it. But I think also like, with this conversation, I feel like so much about like weight loss comes into it because we have our babies, we get pregnant and we're like, oh, I'm pregnant. It's so amazing. And then you have your baby and then we're instantly just like, oh my God, I have to lose the baby weight. When am I going to lose the baby weight? And, society just gets in there. The messages from society that we get all the time growing up and always. about being thinner and smaller and taking up less space and fitting into certain clothes and sitting into your pre-pregnancy clothes gets in there. And it's like, how do I lose weight?
Mm-hmm.
And this is just really not a time to be thinking about that. If you had your baby within the last year, then this is not a good time to be focusing on that. Just
Right.
plain old weight loss. Like if you want to get back into exercise, I mean, you should, and you should move around and you should do things that make you feel good. But focusing on the weight loss is not, your body will do what it needs to do. And right now it needs to recover from having a baby. And that recovery really goes on for about a year.
At least.
At least.
Yeah. Yeah. Recovery can be long, and you want to be able to feel good, you know, and a lot of people, like, one of the benefits of breastfeeding that people talk about is losing weight faster. That doesn't happen for everyone.
No.
For some people, they don't lose the weight faster when they breastfeed, or they lose the weight after they stop breastfeeding. It really just depends. But like Abby said, try not to focus so much on like, I have to lose this baby weight immediately, because that's a lot, right? Like that's a lot to deal with when you're breastfeeding, you're taking care of a new baby, you're returning to work, you're doing all these things, and then going, oh my gosh, I have to, lose all this baby weight too to fit into my pre-pregnancy clothes. Like that's a lot to wrap your head around.
Yeah. And your body is not going to do it. Your body is not ready. Your body is feeding a baby. It's recovering from birth. It took 9 months to put that weight on. It's not going to just disappear. Your body is also, it's not like you have your baby and then your body is focusing on other things. It's not just going to let go of that weight, no matter what you do, and don't do extreme things. Like people do extreme things. And it's just not, it's focusing on making milk. It's focusing on recovering. It's putting all of its energy into healing your body from birth. It's just not gonna, your body can't do that right now. That's not what you're made to do.
Right. No, it's absolutely not. Exercise itself is safe. And that's one of the things that people worry about. Like, is there going to be lactic acid in my milk? Am I not going to, is it not good for me to exercise? Or how much exercise can I do? Is it going to impact my milk supply? No, exercise will not impact your milk supply. It will not impact your milk supply. It will not cause you to make less milk.
It will not make it taste funny.
It will not make it taste funny. It is not harmful to the baby. None of those things. So if you are starting an exercise routine, again, say you do get that go ahead from your doctor and you're feeling good and you want to hit the gym, or you want to, start running, or you biking, or whatever it is that you like to do, you can start doing that. You don't have to worry about it impeding your breastfeeding relationship because it's totally okay. Eating enough calories is important though. So make sure that you are, if you're not eating enough calories, that's not going to impact your milk supply either. But we want you to definitely be keeping up with your caloric intake so that you feel good. Because we don't want you to be like, oh, I'm trying to lose weight, I have to decrease all my calories, when we need you to eat 500 more calories a day for breastfeeding, which is what is encouraged when you are breastfeeding, is to eat an additional 500 calories a day. And then you're like, oh, I'm just going to decrease all of this so that I can lose weight. That's not going to make you feel good.
No, you're going to feel like crap, and that's worse.
Oh, we should take a break.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I just realized it. Yeah.
That's all right.
And then we'll talk about calories. Yeah.
We'll be right back. Today's episode is brought to you by Similary Breast Pumps. Similary Breast Pumps wants you to have control of your pumping journey. With a continuous focus on research and development and a team comprised of CLCs, Similary Breast Pumps strives to offer pumps for every lifestyle, from ultra tiny pumps as small as a sticky note to fully adjustable pumps with 85 combination settings. You're in control of your pumping journey. And they have resources like virtual breast shield sizing consults in English and Spanish, and exclusive Get the Right Fit program that offers a third set of breast shields for free. Similary gives you vital tools for a successful journey, and they're a safe choice for everyone. All of Similary pump parts and storage bags are phthalate, BPA, and BPS free. Better yet, Similary breast pumps can be personalized with a fun pump skin decal. See their full pump family and all the pump skin decals at Similary Breast Pumps. The Similary is CIMILRE breastpumps.com. And you can use code BADASS for 15% off of your purchase after they help you figure out if your pump will be covered by insurance. So that's SimilaryBreastPumps.com. Use code BADASS for 15% off your purchase. And you can head to BadassBreastfeedingPodcast.com, where you will find all of our sponsors and our resources, our favorite resources, and all of our other episodes, as well as information about scheduling your very own one-on-one online lactation consultation with Dianne that could also be covered by insurance, and she'll help you figure that out.
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
So, yeah. So like we were saying, like calorie counting and all of that stuff, that's not, when you're breastfeeding, that's not necessarily a great time to do all that.
Unless you're counting extra.
Exactly. Yes. Because you're supposed to be taking in, like I just said, like 500 extra calories with breastfeeding. So really depleting yourself, it's not going to hurt your milk supply. Like you really would have to be like in a malnutritioned state for it to impact your milk supply. And you're just not going to feel like you're going to feel run down. You're just not going to feel good. Like you're just going to feel blah. You might not have as much energy.
Yeah.
And you're trying to exercise and you're trying to take care of a baby. And it's just a lot to do.
Your body is not ready for anything except healing. It needs nutrients and movement when you're ready.
Yeah, when you're ready. But we definitely wanted to talk about different aspects of weight loss, because that is a big thing that comes up all the time with when you're breastfeeding. Yes. Is a weight loss. And we wanted to talk about, we're going to talk about Ozempic a little bit, weren't we?
Yeah. Yeah, because I started Ozempic.
Abby started Ozempic.
Yeah. So my story is that I don't know if anybody, maybe you've been listening to us long enough to know that I was like, 2 years ago now that I had knee surgery. So I tore my meniscus. First of all, yes. So I tore my meniscus probably early on in my karate career, and my knee progressively got worse. And I didn't do anything about it because I've never had any problems that didn't just heal on their own. Mm-hmm. Well, this didn't heal on its own. And it got really bad to the point where I was really just having a hard time walking. And so I went to the doctor and they're like, oh my God, you tore your meniscus. You have to have surgery. So I had the surgery. And my knee, I went through physical therapy and all of that. And my knee, and also in the meantime of not being able to move very much, I gained, it's hard to remember now, but probably like 30 pounds. So on top of the knee surgery, then I had all this extra weight. And I'm just thinking like, maybe this is contributing to the knee problems at this point, because the meniscus part of it doesn't bother me anymore. But now I have what the surgeon thinks is, what's it called? Bursitis, where the bursa in the knees are swollen. And extra weight is something that's considered to be like a contributing factor to that. But I also can't do a lot of exercising because it hurts my knees. So I'm like, let me try this because it's there and it's available. And my kids are older now, thank God, because I'll tell you all about it and why maybe it's not a great idea for when you have little kids. So I started it like 2 months ago, and My experience is just like nausea. Like it feels a lot like morning sickness. So if you've had morning sickness like recently, you'll definitely be like triggered by that.
Oh God.
It's just that feeling of morning sickness all the time. And that sucks. So if you have that, and then first of all, I would hope that they would not even allow somebody who has had a baby in the past, couple years to even do this. Because I don't know I'm not lactating anymore, so I don't know, like, what's the effect on breast milk? I can't tell you that because I'm not lactating anymore. So I don't know. I would imagine it could have an effect. I mean, it certainly can have, losing weight and introducing something into your body can affect your hormones, and hormones are going to affect your milk supply. So I think it's possible. Like, I don't think anybody can say like it just definitely doesn't affect your milk supply. But the nausea, if I had to take care of little kids, like, no, I would not like that at all.
I can't imagine. Yeah. Feeling nauseous all the time.
No, it sucks. And, it's kind of like, imagine being pregnant and having, morning sickness to the point of, and sometimes you do throw up to that extent while having a toddler. I'm not even going to talk about a baby because no, you're not allowed to. I'm telling you, you're not allowed to do this. I'm telling you, you're not allowed to be on Ozempic with a baby. And I hope that the people distributing the Ozempic would tell you the same thing, but I don't know. Because where I go, they're very regulated. Like, they're very on top of me. Like, I see a nutritionist as well every week. And basically, you're supposed to be eating like all day. And if I don't eat, like, I can't eat big meals. Like, at some point I get full really fast, but then I get hungry again really fast. And it's not even necessarily a hungry feeling. It's that nausea feeling. So I have to be constantly eating. Like, I was actually supposed to be working at the dojo for like several hours in a row, helping with this kids tournament. And I was like, I can't do that. I can't go that long without eating. Like, that's like, it's an issue. Like, I can't go that long without eating, because it's not like I can eat a big meal and then be set for a few hours, because I can't eat a big meal. I can only eat small amounts consistently throughout the day. And so, yeah, I mean, that's just something to be aware of. If you're going to start it, look at your surroundings and know if your kids are older and they can help you, cool. If they need you for everything, because my kids are 13 and 10. So they don't need me for every little thing. And if I get myself into a situation where I don't feel good, I can sit on the couch and be like, I need to just sit down for a little while. I need to eat something. I need to have some water. And they're like, okay. But your 4-year-old's not going to say, okay.
Right.
They're going to be hounding you. So yeah, that's the main thing with that. And like I was saying, because I'm very regulated, I see a nutritionist who's working with me constantly every week. But where my mom is, she goes and picks up her shots and she gives them to herself at home. And she doesn't see anybody. And she is like a mess. Aww. She like, I know. I mean, she can't eat very much. No one's talking with her about like, because they're always like, oh, you feel nauseous? Okay, we need to work some more protein in there. Try this. And they're like, and it's been a couple of months where I don't feel it as strongly, but I will. If I get to the point where I haven't eaten recently enough, I will start to feel it. That feeling in my stomach. But my mom is like, nobody's working with her on that. And sometimes she'll be like, oh, all I ate today was like a brownie. And I'm like, God. What? Well, no wonder you feel like shit and you're tired. Oh, that's the other thing. I don't know. It makes the first day, like the first couple of days after my weekly injection, I'm so tired. I'm like, by the end of the day, I can't even keep my eyes open.
Is that one of the side effects? Fatigue?
I don't know. Or I'm just like old. Yeah, no, I think it is. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely not. It's not. And people are like, oh, it's the easy way out. It's easy. And it's like, it's not, this is not easy. It's definitely not easy. It's not like you just get your injection and then the weight falls off. That is not the experience. It's a lot goes into it. Like you got to be like drinking. I mean, you should be drinking a lot of water anyway, just because in life you want to stay hydrated. But I mean, again, not because of a milk supply situation, just whatever. You should be drinking water. But this is really like your body demands you to be drinking tons of water and eating consistently. It's like it feels like a full-time job. To just be like constantly taking care of your body and be eating enough to ward off like nausea. And I mean, I'm sure everyone has their different experiences on it. And you go on TikTok or something and type in like GLP-1 or like whatever, and people will share their experiences very openly with you. We're in that age now where everyone's sharing their things on social media. So you can see like what everybody else's experiences are. But nausea is definitely a consistent one that I see. Watching people.
I mean, I know it's different for everybody, but I know that is one of the side effects for sure.
Mm-hmm. And like nausea to the point of where you could throw up. Like just your body is just. And it is definitely not that strong now that it's been a couple of months. I think my body is just, getting used to it. But yeah, still not a walk in the park. So that's my story.
I mean, if you're on it, you can we know that you can take it while you're breastfeeding. There's not a lot of information around it because it is, still a new thing. It is supposed to be safe while you're breastfeeding, but you do have to consider like Abby said, like how you're going to feel when you're on it. If you're taking in less calories around it, how you're going to feel. Can you still take care of your baby if you're not feeling good? Just all of those things you need to consider while you're on it as well.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot.
That's the thing is like we've talked about it before. Like it's, it's fine to do while you're breastfeeding. I wouldn't do it early because your body needs to be doing on other things after you have a baby. But like, I would not want to be having toddlers right now. If I had to take care of toddlers feeling like this, no. Like, definitely consider that. Yeah. And consider too that like, everybody's situation is different and everybody would have a different reason for going on it. But it is very popular, obviously really popular right now. And it is readily available. It's expensive because unless you have like diabetes or some kind of medical situation, insurance isn't going to cover it.
Right.
So I shelled out a lot of money, and I think I shelled out more than most people do because on top of that, I get this I get this nutritionist. But I mean, if you can work with somebody weekly, somebody who's there to kind of help you deal with the side effects, I would highly recommend that.
Yeah. So that's Abby's story.
Yay.
If anybody has an experience that they want to share with us, definitely email us at badassbreastfeedingpodcast@gmail.com. If you're on it and you want to share your experience with others, we'll read it on the air.
Yeah, if you're breastfeeding and you're on it, I definitely want to hear what it's like and how it's going. And we can share that.
Yeah, for sure. But we'd love to, know more about that from you. But that's it. So good luck.
Thanks.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.